Coaches, B minus. May seem harsh, but I want to make it real clear. I was very enthusiastic about what DeMeco Ryans did this year. I thought he was excellent in his first season as a defensive coordinator, although he couldn't get a stop in any of his final 3 defensive series in the NFC Championship game. Even though he had Nick Bosa, he had everything. So excellent first season for DeMeco Ryans. Excellent hire. Definitely the right man for the job. Still room to grow. He kind of folded in the same way that Robert Saleh folded in the Super Bowl as well. So definitely maybe a 49ers problem. It's not exclusive to this defensive coordinator. But overall, a very positive year for DeMeco. Let's talk Shanahan. Shanahan's year was complicated. It was volatile. Like, Jimmy is always the same, right? He's always that same C minus, and his ups and downs are totally dependent on the players around him and the team he's facing. He was mediocre as hell in training camp. I pointed it out. 11 touchdowns, 11 picks, a 1-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's terrible. Some people try to glorify certain things that he did, but he wasn't good in training camp. He was C minus all the way through the season. The Niners just moved all their best players to running back and worked around him, and they had a great defense. Kyle's not like that. Kyle has wild swings. So Kyle starts the year trading a ton of picks for a guy who's never played in the NFL. He basically trades the Deshaun Watson package for a guy who didn't play in 2020 and came from 1AA football. Wow, that's a drastic move. I like him, but that's what he did. Then he's like, but I don't want to play him. And he decides to go with the inferior quarterback all year, even though he never played that well. Not in camp, not in preseason, not in the regular season. He went with C minus Jimmy all year. He did other weird things. He buried Brandon Ayuk for no reason. He stuck with Javon Kinlaw even though he was hurt. Stuck with Dee Ford even though he was hurt. He built this hole. He dug this hole. He largely is responsible for digging the 3-5 hole. And at that point, a lot of people were like, fire Kyle. His biggest supporters were like, I can't support him anymore. There were people saying like, no one is doing less with more than this coach right here. He was a joke. People were bringing up his career winning percentage and pointing out how many awful coaches who had, the same amount of time in the league had better numbers than him. He was really blowing it. And then all of a sudden they were 3-5. John York starts coming to practices and he changes everything. He turns the whole season around and it's his decisions. 3 big ones. Deebo Samuel running back, Eric Armstead to defensive tackle, Ambry Thomas in for Josh Norman. Those 3 decisions changed everything. And the Niners go on this crazy run where they win 9 of 11 games. And Kyle goes from the lowest of the low to like, dude, this guy needs to get fired. It was like, I'd like to trade Kyle, but I don't even know if he has any trade value left. You might have to fire him too. Wow, this guy really is the genius that everyone said he is. He's the best coach in the league. Everyone should want his assistant coaches. In the span of a month, he goes from the lowest of the low to losing to Colt McCoy at home, losing to an Arizona Cardinals team that had no Kyler Murray, no DeAndre Hopkins, lost to them by 14, lost to the Seahawks twice, and is back on top. A-plus coach. On the way to the Super Bowl, everyone's picking the Niners to beat the Rams. Everyone thinks the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to be a champion. He's going to exercise his demons, get the monkey off his back. All those cliches. And he's in Green Bay. He's in a really tough game. It looks like he might lose. He's losing the whole time. 3rd and 7, ice in his veins. Calls the run for Deebo. Ooh, that was great. And then he gets all the way to the NFC Championship game. He's a 10-point lead, and he blows it. And he only gets the ball to his best player once. 1 target, 13 and a half minutes left. He catches it, 12-yard gain, first down, never gets the ball again. Deebo Samuel, goodbye, end of season. And what's crazy is so Kyle digs his hole with his bad decisions, gets them out of the hole with his great coaching and great decisions, and then ends the season prematurely by reverting back to his old line of decision-making, to his old mistakes. He starts low, he ends high. He starts low, goes high, ends low. So I don't know. I'm going to I don't know. He's kind of right in that C- range too. We're right there once again, wondering, do his goods outweigh his bads? Does his good outweigh his bad? You're still wondering. Why did it take me that long to say that? I guess I can't talk. His highs are so much more extraordinary than Jimmy's. his lows are so much lower. Who the hell is he? He's good Kyle and bad Kyle. I think it's funny. I made this whole thing about good Jimmy and bad Jimmy. He's the same Jimmy all the time. Like Jimmy is Derek Zoolander with the same look. Latigra, Ferrari, they're all the same look. Blue Steel, all the same look. Kyle, he can be the best coach in the league and the worst coach in the league in the same month, in the same season. He built the 3-5. He dug the 3-5 hold. He's the only guy who could get anyone out of that. And then right when the Niners were about to win it all, he was like, you know what? Nah, we're not going to the Super Bowl. Debo, you're done. Jimmy, because the thing about Kyle is he makes it all about him. With the season on the line, it's not good enough to make it about Debo. Let's just give the ball to Debo and let him continue to carry this team let's just let him be the star. No, I'm going to trick him. Everyone thinks I'm going to Debo, so I'm going to not go to Debo. I'm going to highlight all of our weaknesses on offense, and then I'm going to blame poor execution when we lose. He makes it about himself. And that's, I think, why he keeps blowing these leads in the fourth quarter. What's crazy to me is that, like, a big reason I'm marking him down too is I'm adamant that he played the wrong quarterback all season. He should have played Trey Lance all season. He never gave him a chance. There was never a quarterback competition. It was just Kyle said, Jimmy gives us the best chance to win, trust me. And all year it was pretty clear that the Niners were winning in spite of him and that a lot of quarterbacks could do a lot better, including Lance, I thought. And despite him being wrong about that and forcing the issue with Jimmy all year, they still should have won in spite of him in the NFC Championship game. They still should have beat the Rams in spite of Jimmy in the NFC Championship game if only they'd thrown Debo Samuel like 2 more screen passes in the fourth quarter. And that's why I think it's kind of tough. I mean, in the moment, you don't blame him, but unless he wins a Super Bowl for the Niners at some point, you're going to look back at these moments that he got so close and be like, man, if only Kyle had made one commonsensical decision differently, the Niners would have their ring. And you keep saying like, well, he's so young. He'll get back. He'll figure it out. He'll get his championships eventually. He better. Because now, I mean, this is a second golden opportunity that he's thrown away. I mean, I have 3 A+ position groups, 2 A- position group, and he couldn't figure out that maybe he just needed to give Debo Samuel the ball more times in the fourth quarter. Like, I don't get that. He had 13 touches against Dallas, 13 touches against Green Bay, 11 in the NFC Championship game. Was he tired? He wasn't tired. You couldn't give him 2 more touches in the fourth quarter. I mean, you had possessions where it was tied and you went 3 and out and none of the targets went to him. Like, I'm sorry. So even though Kyle can be an A+ coach, he also can be an F- coach at the worst times. And I just don't know. B- for the coaching. He does get credit for assembling a great coaching staff. He's got D'Amico. He's got Kosaric. He just brought in Anthony Lynn, although that's not part of this grade. He definitely has an ability to put together a coaching staff, but he's got his own issues. And I don't know if Anthony Lynn is going to be the one that can fix it in the future. So B- for the coaches. I look at this season as a bitter missed opportunity. I know the Niners look at this season as a tremendous exceeding expectations. Oh, they only exceeded expectations because they started off in that 3-5 hole that didn't need to happen. That's the way I look at it. So B- for the coaches. Don't hate me. That's just the way I see it. Let me get all these super chats that I missed. Adam Brooks got you. Hold on. And then I'm gonna do quality control. KS needs that Cobra Kai mentality, no mercy. I just finished it last night. What an ending. What an ending. Cobra Kai. He lets up at the end, right? You hear about the Kyler Murray situation? No. What's the Kyler Murray situation? What happened? Hold on. Kyler Murray. News. Scrub social media no longer follows Cardinals. Oh, God. That's funny. That's really funny. They might want to fire Cliff Kingsbury. I'm just saying. Hi, Grant. Love the show from Australia. Thanks, Anthony. Home of the best punters. Saw Jimmy Garoppolo live in NOLA 2019. Wow, thought he was the bomb, but the gunslinger lost his 6 gun on Bourbon Street and then brought a rubber knife to every gunfight. I totally agree with that. Well put. Lost his 6 gun on Bourbon Street and then brought a rubber knife to every gunfight. He's got a phobia of the big guns. Whoever they draft in the first few rounds hopefully gets to see the field this next season. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's pretty funny. Kyler Murray, really fun. He does seem kind of petulant, huh?